These are your Unit 4B Day 2 notes. We're continuing to work on Standard 1B and Standard 2B. We are going to be creating proportions and solving proportions, just like we were yesterday. The only difference is we're looking at real-world examples. So let's get straight into it. So we see ratios in our lives, and they can help us find information that we need. Here's an example. The ratios of adults to students in a class must be 1 to 8. How many adults must there be in a class of 24? So we have the information in this problem that we need to set up our table, and then from there our proportion and solve. So we can see right here, adults to students, adult to students. You see how that has that little 2? Adult to students. That means we're comparing adults to students. So I'm going to just highlight my keywords. So I have adults to students. In a class, there must be 1 to 8. Now, adults was written first, so that means the first number we see is the adults. So 1 represents the adults, 1 to 8, adults to students, so 8 represents the students. Okay, now it's asking how many adults must there be in a class of 24 students. 24 students. So it's saying how many adults. We first of all know how many it's asking. That's our unknown. So that's what's going to be represented in the variable as our variable. But I'm going to take this step by step. So the first thing is we're comparing adults to students. We can see our table right here, adults to students. There must be a ratio of 1 to 8. So that means there must be 1 adult to every 8 students. Now it says how many adults. That means we don't know it. It's our unknown. So I'm going to represent that with a variable. How many adults must be in a room if there are 24 students? So we're trying to figure out, we're trying to keep this proportional. If we have 24 students, how can we keep that a ratio of 1 to 8? So my 24 students goes here. Now that I've set up my chart, I'm going to set up my proportions and solve. Okay, so my first proportion is I have 1 adult to 8 students, and that is equal to some unknown number and 24 students. Now to solve, I'm going to do the same thing I did before. Yesterday, I'm going to cross multiply. So on one side, I have 8 times x. We write that as 8x, and that is equal to 24 times 1. Okay, I set up my cross products. Now I need to simplify and solve my equation. First thing is I have 24 times 1. I know that 24 times 1 is simply equal to 24. So I'm going to write 24. And then on the other side, I haven't touched it yet, so it's just going to remain 8x. All right, now I have 8x equals 24. I want to get the variable by itself so I can figure out what my unknown is. We have 8 times x. What is the opposite of multiplying by 8? It is dividing by 8. So we are trying to get this 8 alone. Whatever I do on one side, I must do on the other. So I divide by 8, and I divide by 8. 8 divided by 8 is equal to 1. So I'm simply left with x over here. And 24 divided by 8 is equal to 3. So x equals 3. So what does that mean? And when you're deciding what that means, that is your sentence. So 3, or x, right here on the table, it's number of adults. So what does that x equals 3 mean? Well, it means that there must be 3 adults. There must be 3 adults if there are 24 students. Okay? So please make sure that you go ahead and you write this in your notes, and we are going to move on to the next problem. So pause, record, and then let's keep going. All right, a recipe calls for 1 cup of sugar for every 4 cups of flour. So what are we comparing here? We are comparing 1 cup of sugar for every 4 cups of flour. So sugar to flour. When we look at our table, it is already set up. So we have cups of sugar to cups of flour. What is the ratio? 1 to 4. So 1 cup of sugar for 4 cups of flour. Now the question says, how many cups of sugar? How many cups of sugar? So we don't know the cups of sugar because it's asking what, so that's our unknown. How many cups of sugar would be needed using 32 cups of flour? So we're looking at what the sugar is if we have 32 cups of flour. Now we need to go ahead and set up our ratio. So we know the first one we have is it's a 1 to 4, and that is equal to unknown x over 32. Remember, you absolutely have to keep the units together. Okay, that's super important. We have cups of sugar on top and cups of flour on the bottom. Perfect. Now all we got to do is use cross products to solve. So we have 4 times x, 4x, and that is equal to 1 times 32. So 32 times 1. Perfect. Now we go ahead and we solve our equation for x. 32 times 1 is equal to 32. We haven't touched the 4x, so we leave that over here. All right, now we have 4x is equal to 32. We want to determine what the value of x is, so we have to do the opposite to get the variable by itself. So opposite of multiplication is dividing, so we're going to divide by 4 and divide by 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1, so we're simply left with x on this side, and x is equal to 32 divided by 4, and that is 8. So x is equal to 8. Now let's make this a sentence to explain what that means. So you will need 8 cups of sugar for 32 cups of flour. That is a ton of flour and sugar. All right. So remember, when you're determining or writing your sentence, you need to look x equals what? Where's my x? Oh, sugar. And then you can go ahead and write your sentence. All right, make sure everything's recorded in your notes, and let's move on. Okay, so we have a very similar problem right here. The ratio of cats to dogs in an animal shelter must be 3 to 2. How many dogs must there be in this shelter if there are 15 cats? So your job right now is to complete this on your own. So pause the video and do it. Okay? Hopefully you tried this on your own, and we can see that the ratio of cats to dogs, 3 to 2. All right, they want to know how many dogs, so that's our variable, 15 over x. Go ahead, we set up our proportion, solve for x, and we get 10 equals x. What does 10 represent? Number of dogs. So our sentence, there must be 10 dogs if there are 15 cats. All right, make sure you have this recorded in your notes accurately if you made a mistake. And then let's move on to the next problem. And this one I'm going to do because it's a little bit different, and then you'll try on your own. So Taylor is baking cupcakes. A recipe she found online says 3 eggs in order to make 24 cookies. So we know our ratio. What are we comparing? It says 3 eggs to make 24 cookies. So I don't know why it says she's baking cupcakes and then she's making cookies. I think that was a mistake. So what is she comparing? Like we just said, we have eggs, beautiful handwriting, to cookies. All right. And what is the ratio? It says how many eggs? 3 eggs to 24 cookies. And let's keep reading. How many eggs? So we don't know our eggs. How many eggs? So our eggs is our variable because that's what it's asking. How many eggs will he need if he wants to make 192 cookies? That is a lot of cookies. So we know that we have 192 cookies, and we're trying to figure out how many eggs that is, which is something that you will use in your life. This is an important skill if you're ever going to make something. I don't know if you're going to make 192 cookies, but you might be doubling a recipe or tripling a recipe sometime. All right, now that we set it up, we're going to go ahead and solve for x. Okay, I set up my proportions. 3 over 24 equals x over 192 using my table. Then I went ahead and I solved using cross products. I ended up with x equals 24. What does x represent? X represents eggs, so Taylor needs 24 eggs to make 192 cookies. So this is the same as we were doing, just the only difference is you have to set up the table yourself. All right, so please go ahead and try this next one on your own.